Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video, as you guys can see, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make tortas de banano or banana cake. This is just like a recipe that my grandma kind of passed down to me. She's the one who usually makes them when she's here. So yeah, I really thought I would share this with you guys. I think it's a great way to utilize any bananas that you have that may be going bad. So I just thought I would show you guys this little recipe, which is super simple and easy to do at home with ingredients that you probably already have. Couple of ingredients that you're going to need is obviously your ripe bananas. Right here I have 3, but I ended up using 5 because I had a few more that were going bad, so I decided to just use all of them. You're going to need flour, an egg, baking powder, and some milk. So the milk might be optional because depending on how ripe your bananas are, you might not need it. As you guys can see here, I'm just going to start peeling the bananas and I'm going to start placing them into a bowl, which is where I will be mashing them up all together. So as you guys can see, I'm going to try to get the consistency that I want, which is kind of going to be like, it's going to look a little gooey or something. It's going to definitely look a little weird, but this is exactly how we want it to look. We want it to be all mashed up together, and we don't want any big chunks because we're going to be frying this later, so obviously we don't want any chunks in there. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to grab 3 to 4 spoons of flour. The flour is just going to help it feel more like a cake. Then we're going to go in and add an egg, and we're just going to start mixing this all together. So we're going to mix, and then once we get to, since I see right here the consistency is still a little watery, we're going to add another teaspoon of flour, and this is just going to help thicken it up a little more. As you guys see right over here, I'm gonna go in with a little bit of sugar. I'm gonna take about 2.5 teaspoons of sugar. That's obviously just gonna give it a little bit more flavor. Now I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of baking powder. So I'm gonna take a really small teaspoon of baking powder, a quarter of a teaspoon of baking powder, and this is just going to help it rise once we put it into the fryer. So as you guys can see, I added again more sugar. You're going to see the consistency later on how I want it to be exactly. You don't want it to be too loose because once you put it into the oil, it's just going to disperse everywhere and it's not going to stay in one place. So that's why we need it to be a little thick, so that when we put it into the oil, it's going to stay together. So on the other end right over here, I'm just prepping the oil. I want it to be just enough oil to cover at least one of them. They're going to be really thin, so you don't need too much oil. As you guys can see, you guys can have like a little glimpse of how it looks. And I'm going to start off with just low heat. So with this first one that I placed, you guys can see that it's obviously not ready because once it is ready, once the oil is warm enough, you're going to see that it starts to throw bubbles. So once these bubbles start, it means that the oil is practically ready. As you guys can see now, I'm going to start adding them all in, and you guys can see that the oil is sizzling and is bubbling, which means it is definitely hot enough. So we're basically just going to cook them until we see them that they're at a golden color. So we're going to start turning them every minute about. We're going to take them. They honestly don't take that long to cook because they're really thin, so definitely don't leave them in there for too long. Once you guys see that they start getting to like a golden color, that's when we're going to take them out. So I'm over here, I'm just showing you guys the consistency that I would want it to be. Now we're just going to start taking them out and placing them into this little tray, and then over here I'm just showing you guys a little closer of how we're doing it, and then right here I'm just showing you guys how we're just taking them all out. So now once you have them all here, we're just going to place them into a nice little plate, which is where we're going to prep them to put the powdered sugar all over them. It's all called powdered sugar or confectioner sugar, whatever it is, whatever you guys want to call it. So yeah, we're just going to start placing this over, and then now they're going to be ready to enjoy. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this little recipe of mine. Here I am enjoying a piece of it. They're really good, a really tasty dessert, especially now that we're in quarantine. I think it's a great way just to make use of what you already kind of have at home, or if you just want to try it out, definitely recommend it. It's an easy recipe that any of you guys can do at home. Also, this is the perfect time to mention that I do have a food page with my boyfriend, so if you guys want to check that out, make sure you guys check it out. I'm going to be linking it down here. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe down below to my channel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.